What's up?
Are you kidding me? You're wearing the same shirt as you wore in the last video. Can you change it up?
You're right. You're right.
I know I'm right.
Okay. Future dresser, I'm gonna need your help on this one.
I got you, bro.
You wanna help me for once?
I will help you for once.
Okay. I'm gonna snap my fingers.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're gonna do the magic after the fact.
That's right.
And this problem will be solved,
It
right?
will be solved. I got you. You just
Here we go, Nate.
stand there.
Get my knees ready.
Are you kidding me?
Loosen the shoulder.
Come on.
Okay, okay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Okay. I think we did it right.
We did
We
it.
good?
I did it right.
Alrighty, let's get right into it. My name's JC, and on this channel we talk about everything fragrance. If you like that kind of content, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified when I drop videos. You never miss one. And if you like this kind of content, hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Several months ago, I did a video that I called Top 5 High Quality Designer Fragrances. A lot of you seem to really enjoy that, so I decided, why not do another installment? I'm bringing you 5 more,
maybe 7,
high quality designer fragrances that I think you should check out. Now, how am I defining this? These are coming from designer houses. So these are brands that have a foothold in many different regions of the fashion world, fragrance being one of them. And they are very well-known brands. However, they are also well known for the quality that they put into their fragrances. Now, some of these brands have differing levels of quality within their fragrance collections, but the ones that I chose here are, at least in my little opinion, of high quality. And as a result, you don't have to pay a ton of money for them because they are not niche, fragrances. They're not coming from these very high-end luxury brands. However, I will say that, maybe a couple of them, although coming from designer houses, they are a little on the pricier side, but relatively speaking, they're not quite as expensive as niche. So let's dive in. At this first spot here, you're probably going to be surprised and you might even disagree with me, but at least in the wearing experiences that I've had with this fragrance, I think it's of great quality despite its scent profile, and it's not surprising coming from the house that it comes from the house of Prada, who is known for their high quality fragrances. Say what you will, we're talking about Luna Rossa Carbon. All right, this is a carbon copy of Dior Sauvage, but this is way more pleasant in my opinion. Actually, better quality in my opinion. Oh, it's smooth, has a nice beautiful sweetness in there. Yes, it has a synthetic nature to it, but it's so well composed that you don't even care. The scent profile is just round, it's complete, it's very fresh, a little spicy, has a little bit of an earthiness to it, a little bit of a metallic nature, but it is so well blended. And again, I prefer it to Dior Sauvage, which comes from also a company that makes high quality fragrances, but this does it for me. Great quality stuff. You can get it at a decent price. I highly recommend you check out my boy Steve, Fragrance Fanatic Steve. He has his own company called Kingdom Fragrances. Check out the link below. You can get this very fragrance there along with many others for a fantastic price. So check out Prada Luna Rossa Carbon if you have not already. Alrighty, from the house of Burberry, one of their older releases, and in my opinion, a lot of older fragrances, we're talking like 1990s and prior, a lot of them came, at least in my opinion, at very high quality with the ingredients, the scent profile, everything was just top notch. They didn't really hold back on it. Nowadays, I feel like some quality is being sacrificed for the sake of just smelling fresh and clean and mass appealing. They're kind of just not really dealing with quality. That's just if you're asking me. But some companies are still doing it, and this is again one of their older releases. This is called Burberry Touch. I think this is a great quality fragrance, especially for the price you can get it. As I've said before, it is a sweet, slightly creamy, but mostly powdery violet fragrance. So beautiful. Again, so just, I don't know, there's something about it that it is captivating. It is kind of unique, but it's also very simple. And it just smells like pure quality coming off of your skin, especially with a little bit of heat. This is one that does great. So that is Burberry Touch. Links down below. I just want to take a moment here to thank all of the members of the Fresh Fam. If you don't know what that is, that's my Patreon, and it's really, really exciting. I'm putting a lot of work, a lot of energy into it, and I'm doing so that I can get to a point where I can strictly concentrate on doing this, turning on my camera and talking about fragrances for you. And so I don't have to go and work at a warehouse and break all of my appendages in order to pay my bills. You can support content creators just like me to do what they love to do, and Patreon is the great way to do it. I just added a brand new tier that allows you to, again, support me to get some beautiful perks in return, which you can read about at the link in the description. And it also is going to get you, at least if you're one of the first 10 members to join, a free Argos sample pack. The lovely folks at Argos were generous enough to supply me with 10 of these bad boys to send out to the first 10 members. And again, I'll ship it to you at no cost to you. That's just a thank you for joining the Fresh Fam. And again, there's a lot more that comes with it. So I hope, so check out the link in the description. And even if you don't want to go for this tier, this new tier, we have other tiers that are a little less expensive, and you can still show a lot of support, and it really means a lot, and it goes a long way. Please check it out. Up next here, we got our first of two ties. Both of these fragrances are tied because they smell very similar, and they also happen to come out the same year. 1992 was the year. It seemed like both of these companies were doing similar market research, and they both happened upon a fragrance from each of them that has a very similar scent profile. From the house of Cartier, we have Pasha de Cartier, and from the house of Ralph Lauren, we have Safari for Men. Both of these are very fresh fougere fragrances. They have a barbershop quality to them. There's a sweetness, there's a spiciness, there's a freshness, and there's just a cleanliness as well. A little bit of an herbaceous quality. The Cartier, I tell you, this thing is underrated in terms of quality. I'm sure those of you who were around when this scent came out and you wore it, then you can attest to it. But it has since gone under the radar because obviously time has passed and a lot has come out since then. But it's being sold for a reason. I definitely recommend you check this one out. Relatively inexpensive. You can find it on the gray market. Again, I'll have links down in the description. Same thing goes for Ralph Lauren. This stuff is gorgeous. The real difference between these two: more leather based, more spice based, and also this one has much better performance. This is going to last you a good 7-8 hours. This one will be gone about 5 to 6, but beautiful wearing experience. Gets warm and leathery, stays sweet and rich as it dries. Love this bottle. I saw a subscriber talk about, it reminds them of like a whiskey decanter. I totally get that vibe. I don't know if that's what they're going for. I love this little like kind of faux like lacquered wood at the top of the cap. Really beautiful. Great stuff. Both of these, highly recommend checking them out. Beautiful quality. They don't make them like they used to anymore. I know these have probably been reformulated. A lot of people say they used to be better, but to my nose, I haven't smelled the originals, except I did smell this one years ago, which I wasn't crazy about, but I wasn't really ready for it either. Quality is great. Quality is fantastic for the price. Check them out. Okay, from the formidable house of Tom Ford. Tom Ford is not known for affordable fragrances, I'll tell you that, or really affordable anything. And this kind of falls in line with that. You're gonna have to search kind of far and wide if you want to get a cheap price on this, and that is probably gonna take you to eBay and get it used, to be honest, unless you want to just go and just get a decant, which is obviously gonna be cheaper. But if you love fougères, if you love aromatic lavender-based fragrances, and you want one of high quality, you gotta do Beau de Jour. This is the 2020 version. It used to be part of the private blend. They bumped it down probably because it wasn't selling too well. It's a little bit more affordable than it once was, actually quite more affordable. You're probably gonna be paying around $100 for this, if not a little bit more, but I think it's totally worth it. Gosh, this is a beautiful scent, so refined. One of my favorite fougères. It reminds me of a previous release from the house of Davidoff called Zino, which came out in 1988. This is a much higher quality version of that, has much better performance, Definitely a step up for me. But they are similar. If you want an alternative, Zino is not bad. It's a little bit more dated smelling, perhaps. I'm gonna do a whole video on that, by the way, later on dated fragrances. But I can't recommend this stuff enough. It's very fresh, sweet, kind of creamy, aromatic, very dry as it dries down, gets a little earthy, and definitely gets a little warm. So refined. That is Beau de Jour. Okay, here number 1. We got another tie. One of these fragrances, if you're here in North America like me, you're gonna have a hard time finding it for a decent price if you can find it at all. But the other one is perhaps at this point a little more available, but it's also been discontinued. So again, it might be hard to find unless you snatch it up right now. These are both from the house of Dior, from the same collection. We have the OG, technically not the OG, this is a reformulation of the original Dior Homme. This is the 2011 version, which I love. Didn't always love it, but now I love. And this is the one that's hard to find unless you're outside of North America, especially in Europe. I know they have a new version of it coming out. If it hasn't come out already, haven't smelled it, this is the Parfum version. Both of these fragrances are of some of the highest quality. Oh man, this is so good. I'm so sad it's hot. I can't wear this fragrance right now. I wish I could. This one I can still kind of get away with, especially in the evenings. Beautiful scent for that. Fresh, sweet, powdery iris, a little bit of a cacao, chocolatey vibe, and leather as it dries. This takes the same idea, adds oud to it, adds some rose, makes it dark, bumps up that leather note, and it's beast mode, straight up beast mode. I love Dior Homme Parfum. Wish I could wear this more now. Again, if you can find it,
It's not going to be cheap.
but the quality is top notch. This is what Dior is known for. When we think of Dior Eau Sauvage, which almost made this list, but I just didn't put it on here. When we think of Dior Fahrenheit, which almost made this list, but again, I already just wanted to choose these two Diors because they're a little bit more modern. Dior is known for these fragrances that are trendsetters. They smell almost nothing like what's around them in terms of the market. Dior Eau Sauvage might be an exception to that. I don't remember all of what was coming out at that time, but Fahrenheit for sure. And there's been many others, and especially the Dior Homme line. When this came out, people lost their minds. So polarizing. Some people were like, what is this? How could a man smell like this? And some people were like, this is a masterpiece. No one's doing this. Thank you, Dior. You've changed the game once again. I used to be on one side of the camp. When I first smelled this, couldn't do it. It was so different, but now I'm all for it. Love these fragrances. At the very least, I highly recommend you try to check this one out. I'm gonna try to find links to it. There is a reformulated version, which believe it or not, I have not smelled yet, the 2020 version. One day I'll smell it. I know it's nothing like this, which makes me not really care to try it, but I do want to try it. I am interested. But timeless fragrance. And we're gonna do another video on that at some point soon, so look out. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video. Really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed at this point, what are you doing? Why?
Please.
Just click or tap, and it's done. And I'll do the rest. I'll bring the videos to you. That's all you got to do. I really hope you consider subscribing. Would love to have you back as a part of the Fresh Squad, the Fresher Squad here on YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.